Hello, beautiful people. Hope you're having an amazing day. You are a star, and any motherfucker, dim your light. Now, if you've been following me on this mushroom trip journey, okay, if you've been interested in psilocybin, the effects, asking yourself whether or not you should, have a look at all the other series first before you jump into this one. Today, I'm going to share with you my 6th wild mushroom trip. Okay, I did a hero's dose. I went real deep, and boy, did it expose a lot of the things that I've been suppressing, hiding, and really haven't been facing a lot in the last moments. And so today I'm going to share with you what I experienced, what I visually, mentally, emotionally, and share with you my experience and what this is like. And little disclaimer: this is just an educational video. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt. Don't dive deep into it without some sort of guidance. My first experience, I had someone who was there who had already done it. Okay, so I was in a safe space. I had positive intention. Don't do it just because it's trending or you feel like it's a cool thing to do. I did it for healing purposes, for the spiritual experience, to connect more with source, and of course to learn more about it and myself. Okay, so I had the 6th wild mushroom trip over the weekend. Firstly, so psilocybin, okay, is a compound that you can find in, magic mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms. One that I took in particular was golden tops, and basically it really it connects certain neural pathways, and it helps you see things, reality, from a very, very different perspective. Okay, so you could say that it unveils a lot of things, because in a sober state we are constantly filtering information and seeing it in more of a safe environment, right? If we were constantly tripping, we wouldn't get too much done in society. I mean, who really needs to get too much done? But I could imagine what it would have been like a long time ago when we didn't have so much to do, and culturally we ate mushrooms, made love, had some fruits, we farmed, enjoyed nature, and what I would do to go back to that time or even create that reality today, which is possible. It's going to take a lot of work. So, if you're feeling called to do one of these experiences, stay tuned for some results from workshops, and I'm going to create, these ceremonies in the near future. Okay, once they start to legalize it and, make it safe for people to consume, or safe to consume. Everyone depends on the individual. And so let's get into it. So the 6th wild mushroom trip. Okay, let's go through it visually. So the first thing that I experienced was immense details of everything. So for example, have you ever seen a macro lens, and how when you can focus on something, it makes the thing look like a tiny city, for example, right? So if you zoom into that, every time I looked at something, I noticed the detail of everything so much more. You notice everything a little bit more, in so much more detail, so much more clarity. The colors are amazing, right? But the one thing that was astounding for me, just blew my mind, was the sacred geometry, right? You've got I think it was the tree of life, or the flower of life, the one where you see all over the planet, in different cultures and different civilizations, that had this symbol, right? And it just fucking blew my mind, because I saw it on the wall, like in such detail, and it wasn't like I was projecting it onto the wall, right? Like anytime I moved, I noticed it was like embodied in that, and like, so I would see that everywhere. I would see it on the floor, I would see it in the ceiling. Laying down, I saw the ceiling move, right? And you just start to see that things look more solid, right? Because of maybe we're tuned in a different frequency, right? But once you consume the mushrooms, you start to realize that, everything is moving, everything is alive. So it was outstanding, the visual experience. It's, of course, you're always in awe. You're always like just mesmerized. You're just like, wow, I can't believe this. You're just like, whoa, you're just like freaking out, like, this is incredible. You start to feel that lucid dream state. And yeah, it was amazing. So It was a rainy day, didn't want to stay indoors too much, went to the shops with my partner, and when I got there, again, more visuals, just crazy. Absolutely amazing. That's the fun part. That's the fun part about it, right? You know, you look at nature, you just like mesmerized how you connect with nature, how everything's connected, how the trees talk, how you start to connect to the consciousness of everything, right? Everything's alive. You start to realize everything is communicating in some way or form, right? But we're just not paying attention to that because we're so focused on our daily activities, on our jobs, the money, society, surviving, all these things, right? But when you take a moment, you start to realize, wow, everything's actually communicating with one another. So that was the visual experience, right? Amazing. I loved it. It was so cool. Now, I wrote some notes down just so I wouldn't forget, right? So the shadow aspect of the mushrooms, okay? There is a dark side to it as well. I don't always get what I want. I always get what I need. And that's what I can tell you with this experience, right? So you don't always get what you want, you get what you need, okay? So I got shown my shadows that I've been suppressing and turning myself away from because I've decided to focus on the light instead of the darkness. Of course, it's very important to integrate both parts so you can be whole, right? There is no light without darkness. There is no darkness without light. These things coexist, right? There's always that polarity. So the shadows came up with my own responsibilities. I started to realize how much I was neglecting my own responsibilities as a man. And that was because I was so focused, hyper-focused on wanting to get the mushrooms, wanting to get to another state, right, of being like waiting to be more successful, wealthier, etc. And you know, doing little things. I'm gonna be open here, vulnerable, but like neglecting my partner, realizing that, you know, the mushrooms were telling me how much she trusts me as a man. And you know, of course, I didn't realize how much trust it takes for a woman to share that, right? Because at the end of the day, like, this person's devoting a lot of their future to where you will lead the tribe, the community, etc. Right? So I started to realize how much I was neglecting that, and that, you know, that I need to step up as a person, as a man, as a man who wants to have a family, as a man who wants to build a home, things like that. So I started to see that, and it was very overwhelming. I just sat in the emotions, you know, let it surface and just observe them and realize, you know, you can make those changes, which is good, which is the beautiful part about mushrooms, right? Mushrooms help you to see things that you are avoiding, that you don't see in yourself, right? And you just get really exposed. And, you know, it liberates you because, you know, sometimes people don't want to tell you that, right? And the mushrooms have full transparency of what you may need to work on, or things that you haven't worked on yet, okay? So did that. You know, what else? So that was the dark side of it, was just I kept getting this shame and guilt of not being where I should be and just playing it safe. I've been playing it safe for too long, you know, financially, responsibly as a man, and, you know, just got to step it up, you know. One of the reasons why it's like this is because I never grew up with a man who would be that example. And of course, you know, in a society where, you know, feminism is on the rise, you know, guys can be more chill, women more leaders. I always, you know, supported that. Of course, you know, women can do whatever they want. They can do what men want to do, and men can do what women want to do. However, men ultimately need to be in that frame where they can be that leader. You know, when the feminine are in their emotions, you know, otherwise shit just doesn't get done, right? Houses aren't going to be built. You know, a lot of the structure, there will be no structure, there's no order, you know. So it's so important as a man, guys, if you're watching this, you know, to start taking responsibility for your health, for your mission, for your purpose, for your finances, for your emotions, for your family, and, you know, not sit in your trauma and these stories that your mind plays, you know, oh, this has happened, blah, blah, blah. No, right? It's in the past, okay? You can do all the therapy you want, you can do all the moaning and groaning, but fucking step it up. That's all I can say. Just be the fucking warrior you were born to be, okay? And go out there and put yourself out there that can help your future and your family's future, right? So don't play it safe. Playing it safe is the fastest way to digging yourself down into the grave, because one, you know, we're living in such a convenient society where we can get anything instantaneously. We can get sex, food, water, shelter, just like that, and get caught up in the complacency of that convenience and not strive to be better, right? Now, of course, you don't always have to strive for progress, but ultimately we came here to expand, evolve, and experience, you know, the limitless nature of our being. So that's the mental thing that came up, the spiritual and emotional thing that came up for me. I'm so glad I went through that. And then it just got deeper and deeper. I started to see the jungle vibe of everything. I started to see how ultimately we are in this age now where everyone wants to know, okay, what the next thing is going to help them better to success. And the key, right, is that your knowledge is going to be your power, right? So if you have some knowledge that you know that's going to change other people's lives, you have that power, okay? That's going to give you a head start in this game. Ultimately, we are in this game, right? We're here to play, and you know, you got to have fun with it. Be a little bit competitive, okay? Play with the ego a bit. Doesn't mean you are that ego. You are that light being, but play with the ego, you know? Be successful, be materialistic, be, you know, be a little bit cocky, but at the same time, of course, don't hurt other people. Be compassionate, be kind, balance those two energies, right? And you know, you become more successful in this game. This is not a game to be attached to, right? It's just here for fun. The universe, source, God created this as a way to experience the very nature of the laws that exist in this matrix, right? This simulation. So don't take anything personally. Realize it's just for fun. It's all a temporary experience, right? And if you know something, that is your power. If you know something that's going to give everyone an advantage, that is your power. That is your gift. That's what you got. That's what you've got to tap into, right? And I know a lot of things came up for me that, wow, I do have this knowledge, and you know, can give me that head start. But how do I want to capitalize on that? Right? There's nothing wrong with capitalism if you know it's going to benefit you and the people around you, right? But you know, ask yourself, how am I going to benefit with this knowledge? How can I service others? How can I be of service to others? And how can I make society a better place, right? So have fun with it, enjoy it, live it, breathe it, okay? And realize ultimately this is just a game. So what else? And yeah, basically just a game. We're here to experience it all. That was my 6th wild mushroom experience. Let me know, have you ever had mushrooms yourself? Have you thought about taking mushrooms? If you are, DM me, okay? I will try and help you navigate through that process. I know I resisted for so long. I had no idea how much it would change my life, because I had such a big ego around mushrooms. Like, yeah, you know, I have all the answers. I'm spiritually wealthy. I know that I don't need it. You know, I don't want to take drugs anymore, blah, 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 blah. And little did I know how healing and powerful this medicine is. It is a medicine. It is a hack, right? It is the greatest hack that I've come across, because I had no idea how much it would accelerate my spiritual growth, my healing, and just the amazing powers it has to rewire your brain. I've noticed how much more intelligent I've become, right? I'm not saying that I'm, you know, some super intellectual being, but I noticed a big shift in my intellect, right? I've noticed that I've become a lot more present. The way I communicate is a lot different. And yeah, it's just healed a lot of part of my brain that I never thought was possible, right? I always judge myself for being not so intellectual. However, you know, mushrooms can really help take away certain emotions and judgments of yourself to help you become a better version. That's what I experienced anyway. So, and the other thing as well, it helped me to become more compassionate and understanding and non-judgmental, right? Our ego can really get in the way of keeping us safe, right? Simply because, you know, it's what it's designed to keep you safe. right? And we can get caught up in identifying ourselves with that, when really, guys, you are just love. You are just light. You are, again, a beautiful soul coming here to fully experience this game and simulation. So let me know what you think, okay? Have you had any mushrooms? Have you thought about it? Have you taken other forms of psychedelics? Okay, but yeah, you keep on rising, okay? You stay woke, you stay blessed, you stay alkalized, and yeah, that's my experience. Let me know, have you had any experiences like that? I'd love to hear about it. Add us on Instagram if you hadn't already, and Snapchat as well. You can also add us on the Telegram, link is in the bio. Okay, TikTok, big shout out to the TikTok fam, 127,000 people on there. Appreciate everyone's support. If you need help with your nutrition, training, or mindset, we've got some incredible programs on danieljohnallen.com to help heal your relationship with yourself, okay, to help you master the warrior within. Okay, ignite the warrior within. We've got Rise to Your Potential program. We've got Heal, How to Heal and Nourish, and another program, the Fast Method, which is basically training methods to help you train like an athlete and get you in a lifestyle where you can, be the best shape in your life. So go and check them out. Check them out on the website. I appreciate you. Much love. Keep going and keep rising. Peace out.